It's Tuesday night. It's 9:30. It is time to go behind the hedges. I'm your host, Mitch, with my co-host,
You know who this is.
34-7. We got a lot to talk about tonight, y'all. Let's cut right to the brass tacks of it. I mean, we got monkeys and strippers and freaking gators and dogs and man, oh man, and college football playoff rankings. But before we do any of that, here we go. Hey, if you're watching this video right now, go ahead and hit like or follow or subscribe or whatever it is you need to do. Leave us a comment. We might even talk about it on this show. And tell your friends about us too, because you know you ain't got nothing better to do on a Tuesday night. Hey, boys, did you all see the headline, the super headline? Texas assistant coach's stripper girlfriend's monkey bites a trick-or-treater on Halloween?
No, I did not. Did you just make that up?
No,
he did not.
That is a thing that happened in America over the weekend.
And it did not happen to Ed Ogeron.
Oh my God.
Ironically enough, it did not happen to Ed Ogeron.
Yes. So, cheers to that. We'll just kick the show off with that headline. Some pretty I don't know, obnoxious, uncomfortable headlines over the weekend. It's like Derrick Henry got hurt. It's going to be out for the Titans for a little while. That really sucks.
The resurrection of all day, though.
Looks like Henry Ruggs got into a car accident that cost somebody their life, and he's probably about to be in some deep doo-doo.
2 to 20.
Gary Patterson is out at TCU.
Man.
It was time.
What else? What other major?
That's horrible. What's that sad?
The unfortunate death of I can't think of the guy's name, but the Kentucky the Churchill, really popular Churchill Downs jockey who got killed on I-64 in Louisville.
I missed that one, but I did see where the former Alabama offensive lineman, I think it was, died randomly. Anyway, starting off with the bad news. Hey man, let's talk. Matt? Did you bring the flag?
Hold on. Y'all done started this shit off on a sad note. I got some good news for the world.
Yeah.
The good news is.
I'm sorry.
What did you say? I heard vasectomy.
You got a vasectomy.
Bad joke.
No, I can't. I'm afraid of scalpels and stuff. The University of Georgia.
It was a well-timed joke.
It was. The good news out of this weekend is that the University of Georgia colonized the University of Florida. You will now speak our language. You will now worship our gods.
I heard a really good trivia question today at work, Matt, and I'll share it with you too. Dren, I know you're a trivia person, so here is a trivia question. Did you know that Jacksonville used to be the largest city by area in the state of Florida? It used to be. But now
it used to be the largest city by area in the country.
Yeah, but not in the state of Florida. It belongs to Georgia now. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I left the flag on the ships that I burned off the coast. Now we can finish our conquest of these. And I'm not going to spend too much time kicking dead lizards because they were thoroughly beaten. They were skinned alive. I have a brand new pair of shoes to prove it. I'm not going to show it, of course, because as we all know, I don't wear pants during this show. 34-7 is the second largest margin of victory we have over those fools since Kirby's been there.
Yeah. And since Dan Mullen has been there.
Yeah.
Hey, and speaking of Dan Mullen, Robert Reynolds asked, did you guys know it was recruiting season?
Hey, we're in the season now. We'll do recruiting after the season when it's time for that.
Yeah, December, January, that's recruiting talk time.
Dude, listen.
No, sir.
Stay focused.
I got
ABC,
focus. Damn it.
I've got to tip my hat to some of the Florida fan base because there's a large swath of Florida fans who are not doing the normal Florida fan thing. They've had enough of this shit, and they are being very vocal and open about they want to change today.
You mean the ones who actually stay beyond halftime?
I think so. Did you see the Florida? Hey! Did you see their side of the stadium when the game started? It wasn't empty, but there was a lot of
I have to admit that I did not see the game until the end, but I did enjoy listening to Scott Howard and Eric Zier.
Dude,
commentary
the guys from Dog Nation, the guys from Dog Nation set up a camera, and they played the video. They released the video. It's probably about a 4 or 5 minute long video, and there's no talking. It's just a still shot of Florida fans just filing out of the stadium, right? And I was like, holy cow, man, this is where we are. You know,
I mean, if Grantham's not done, I mean, I think they're both gone.
Here's my take on that.
Really
I think Grantham for sure. I think Cousin Eddie has one more season, unless if they find some way to lose to FSU, Florida has a new coach next year. I'm telling you right now, though, I heard through the grapevine 3 button-pushing boosters from Florida were in Oxford last night or the night before. And I'm not talking about guys who just cut, a couple of $1,000. I'm talking about big-time Florida button pushers were in Oxford. Now, why would they be in Oxford?
I heard there's a good bookstore there. But,
I think they would. I think they probably ought to go to Norman. I'd go to Norman before I went to Oxford.
I don't know. I don't want to speculate
Happy
too
Valley
much.
Before I went to Oxford.
Well, they went to Oxford.
I don't want to speculate too much, but I will say this: that man in Oxford bears a striking resemblance to the old head ball coach.
The other visor.
They are mad geniuses and egomaniacs and frankly quite dangerous coaches. So I don't know. We'll see how that pans out. I don't know, Matt.
As much as I dislike Spurrier over the years, Lane Kiffin is not Steve Spurrier.
Well,
he's not. There's nowhere near as consistent.
You wouldn't be biased about Lane Kiffin, would you? Not one bit.
Kiffin hasn't been given a fancy car to drive around in just yet. All right, he did go to Ole Miss, which was a dumpster juice of a program, right?
I'm sorry, USC. I mean, ain't what it used to be, but still, come on.
At the time he took that job, they weren't what they are now. There was still hope out there that they could revive the Pete Carroll era, and he was part of that deal. Yeah. So I mean, Dren's right there. USC, when things are right in LA, that is a Ferrari. But
sure.
When he got there, it was starting to decline. Again, hey, Florida. We have turned in there's always next year card. You can have our seat at that table. But the East goes through Athens right now. This is reality. Reality came crashing down on Gainesville. Normalcy was restored. The natural order was restored. The blind squirrel was forced to return the nut he found last year to its rightful owner. You want to win the East, you got to come through Athens. This is your life now. And
it came crashing down on Lexington too.
Yeah.
Well, that's another thing is that you bring up a good point there. Georgia wound up clinching the East this past weekend in the earliest fashion in history. No one has clinched a division like that in only 8 games. So, I was arguing with the guys earlier in the group chat, and by the way, if you're not a member of the group chat, you should be. Arguing with the guys in the group chat, and they're saying that like the Big Ten to me looked like a tougher division from top to bottom, or at least a more equitable division from top to bottom. I think that Bama and Georgia are better than the teams in the Big Ten, but who's the 5th best team in the Big Ten right now? Penn State, maybe. I mean, I can make an argument for them, right? They've already got a win over Auburn, and Auburn's got a claim to the SEC championship game. So, there's a good thick portion there. I don't know where I was going.
But I don't know that the game's not different if it's played later in the season, though.
What's that?
Auburn has come on really, really, really well in the past 3-4 weeks. I don't know that game's not different.
Yeah, but the game wasn't played later in the season. It was played then, and that's.
I'm just making that.
I mean, I firmly believe that we would beat Clemson 7,000-3 if we played them right now, but we didn't. We beat them 10-3. So
let me back up. get your opinions on this because I've done some bitching about Georgia's performance in Jacksonville on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what you're going to say about the defense at this point. And I was told that I needed to stop, that I was acting like a spoiled brat, and that I should be grateful for what I have. Thoughts?
I don't know about that. I mean,
See, I don't either. I think I have a legitimate concern. I don't think the quarterback play we saw in Jacksonville will beat Alabama. I don't. I think I'm right.
I think you guys, in a lot of ways, are really similar to Tennessee in '98 and Bama in '92. Okay, I mean,
but
good to excellent defense and mediocre to semi-solid quarterback play. I mean, T. Martin for Tennessee was a good leader, and he was erratic. I mean, the only one he had one absolutely from start to finish solid game that year, that was against South Carolina when he set the consecutive completion record.
Well,
that was it.
I think
the defense carried him.
We all heard, though, that defense is dead. We all went to the funeral together.
Mm-hmm.
And here comes Kirby with like a necromancer, reviving it like Thriller.
Like Paul Bearer with the urn.
Yeah, like in an era where it was thought to be impossible, because all of these offenses, even the bad teams, all these offenses are at least based on concepts of spread and RPO and just points and yards and moving. And to just see this Georgia defense manifest, just keep going. I was waiting for the other shoe to drop. Sorry, Florida. It just hasn't dropped. It just hasn't dropped. And as a matter of fact, it's gotten more tenacious. I mean, that flurry in that 2.5 minutes before the half, I mean, it was 3-0. If you had taken your trash out and spoke to your neighbor at 2 minutes and 34 seconds going into the half of Georgia, Florida, and you came back inside, you'd lose your shit.
Yeah.
What just happened?
The world caught on fire very quickly, and it burned down. Right.
The world turned upside down.
It happened so fast. And did you get the license plate? You know, it was brutal.
And I mean, I just don't see you guys where you guys are going to have that potential stumbling block until Alabama. I mean, you're going to murder Southern. The nerd herd is, you guys are going to beat the nerd herd by 4 touchdowns. And
they say we're going to beat Missouri by 40 points.
Yeah, I want to see. I looked.
Oh yeah, I do remember posting that spread actually.
Yeah, 39 was the opening spread, and I mean we can talk more about this a little later on, but I just happen to have it right here. Hold on, it's gone down just a little bit now. It's at 38.
Oh.
So yeah, some money poured in on Mizzou's side a little bit, you know.
And this game is in Athens, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is. Yes,
it'd probably be 20 if it was in Columbia. Or it'd be in the 20s if it was in Columbia.
Yeah, maybe. Look, we decimated Florida behind some pretty pedestrian quarterback play. These are facts. We did not play very well at the quarterback position.
He had 3 interceptions?
Two. But these weren't like forced. These weren't like Florida did it. Florida didn't do shit. Stetson Bennett threw a rainbow up in the sky.
He threw one in the double coverage.
2 times.
Both of them were. I mean, go back and look at the second one.
Dansby just went yard 5-0.
Sorry, folks. Not really. I think most of our listeners are Braves fans.
Yes.
Dren will be here to give you live updates on the World Series.
I mean,
I'm happy too. I hope the Braves win tonight. Come on.
Crying. The cheaters are crying.
Astros?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That's right. They cheated a while back.
Yes.
Well.
What inning is it?
Top of the 5th.
Okay.
And Freed, I think it's still spinning.
I'll just let it roll. There it is.
So anyway, we come out of Jacksonville looking pretty strong. Were you guys surprised at the playoff rankings that were released today?
He destroyed that ball.
I'll tell you what, I was somewhat surprised, but more because I felt vindicated. watching the, they set up the show and they roll out picks or they rankings number 10, 9, 8, 7, and then they go back to the top and do 1 through 6 like that, right?
Gentlemen, that was a slider of death that Sam Mayday Malone would have been proud of. He hung that sumbitch like right over the fat part of the plate.
That's fantastic. So when they started rolling out, 10 was like Notre Dame, and 9, I don't remember who number 9 was. Doesn't matter. The point is, when they peeled off number 8, that sticker off number 8, and it said Oklahoma underneath it, boy, I got so tickled. Y'all just don't even know. I about fell out of my chair. And it ain't nothing in the world against the Sooners. I'm just trying to tell you. I've been trying to tell y'all since the beginning of the season. This team, there's something wrong with them. They do not pass the eye test. Are they undefeated? Sure, they're undefeated. Are they probably going to win their conference? Maybe,
I don't think they're going to. I like you. I don't think they're going to survive Bedlam.
Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. I don't know. But the fact is I look at that team and I think, God, I hope they make the playoffs because I want them.
Yeah, I want them.
That is a definite win.
We're gonna have to beat. We will if this journey, if it goes like we've already beaten Clemson, we've smashed everybody else. Yeah. Auburn, Florida, most likely Tennessee. Sorry, Dren. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I think it'll be tough. I think we'll talk about that.
I think we'll hang tough for 3 quarters. It'll be like we had Alabama.
Let's see. And we'll have to go through Alabama. I don't need any more. That's it. Give me Ohio State. I'm sorry. Well, you can give me them too. Give me Oklahoma and give me Cincinnati, and we'll call it a day.
The team. I'm going to be honest with you. If they can get through, the team that really kind of scares me for you guys because they're finding ways to win. The team that I would not want to see until the championship is Michigan State. For whatever I don't know. They're well coached.
I want it.
Yeah, they're coached by one of our underlings.
They're figuring it out.
Yeah, I want them.
That's a team that's always dangerous.
That story would be fantastic. Mel Tucker versus Kirby Smart. Yeah. I know that they like to run with a big, tough running back, and that's not going to work out for them.
By the way, if that kid's not the Heisman front runner right now, then
he's got to be. He's got to
wipe their asses with that
trophy. He's got to be.
Guys, calm down. He's the only Heisman candidate. This year has been a bust for that. And I don't give a shit about the Heisman anyway. Unless you just want to give it to the entire Georgia defense, I don't give a shit about the Heisman right now.
That's the Outland. Give him the Outland.
Right now, I'm looking at some stats here over on NCAA.com because I keep hearing people talk about like how bad Georgia's offense is. Georgia's got the 14th ranked offense right now, and they're scoring 37.9 points per game. Ohio State's number 1 at 47.2 points per game. Georgia scored 37.9 points per game and is allowing 5 points per game.
Yeah.
So come on, get you some. I reckon
in the modern game, that's absolutely unheard of.
It is. It's
ridiculous.
It's astonishing.
Matt, I don't know what else to say.
People want to talk about, is this Georgia defense? What were you saying? They go back 5 years, 10
Wait a minute.
years, 15
okay. Years. I was making this point to you on the phone. So initially, like a quarter of the way through the season, they started talking with that historic word and the all-time word early, and they were looking at Georgia over the last 25 years. I think as humans, we're kind of programmed to think in multiples of 5. It's always your 20th anniversary, your 25th reunion, So the past 25 years, and they compared us to some teams out of Miami and Alabama in 11 and USC in the 2000s. But we done left all that behind. They had to extend the time frame back to the last 50 years. You have to go back to some teams from the 70s from Alabama and the 88 Auburn team to start matching some of these Georgia numbers. And those were teams that were playing in an era where 3 yards in a cloud of dust was expected. So, like, to Dren's point, to be doing this, to get this kind of production in today's game, are we cheating?
It seems like there's like the game genie has been put on or something, or some cheat codes.
Cheat codes are in there. It's just.
I mean, Robert makes a point here. He says UGA could very well shut out Mizzou, Charleston Southern as well. I mean, it's possible. It's possible they shut out Georgia Tech too. I mean, it's not outside the realm of possibilities of shutting out Tennessee. No, I think Tennessee's more likely. Of course, you don't see it happening. But the same thing.
In Athens, I can see it happening. But
I said the same shit to Rohan. I said, Rohan, what you going to say when the score's 42-3? I gave them 3 points. He said it'll never happen. I mean, I can play the clip for you right now. And I said, okay,
Yes, I know.
well, you know, it's 37-0, and it's like, I mean, it's like you see it on TV, and then you get your hands on it. You know what I mean? When you put your hands on that defense, you're like, oh shit, this thing is much stronger than I thought. And you have a 6'6", 300-pound man playing in coverage. Yeah, I mean, you're right, Robert. Trevon Walker was back there tipping a ball to Nolan Smith. I was like, what the heck is this?
You notice there's no fairy tale of the week this week. That ended in Jacksonville.
No.
And to watch the pregame and anybody on YouTube, any of the analysts, I guess they're in the business of selling games. I heard every reason and every situation and every scenario on why.
Well, I mean,
Florida was going to be that one. Florida's going. This is the game. This is the one.
Honestly, Scott hired Eric Zier like, oh hell, here we go again. At the end of that first quarter.
Boy, they sure lit up at the 2 minute and 34 mark. They lit up.
Started. So that's yeah.
So I don't know what.
You seem discombobulated.
The man doesn't know what to do with an embarrassment of riches. That's the problem.
Me either.
I'm looking at the well, you know, this time it's Florida. It was just Auburn, and then it was, you know, before that was Arkansas. Before that, and it's the same story every week. You know, Georgia goes out. Oh, that well, you know, there's, you know, Stetson Bennett's not that guy, and
I can give you the storylines. Arkansas, this is the biggest, most physical team Georgia's ever seen. They better watch out. Nope. Yeah. Auburn, they've never seen a quarterback like Bo Nix. Nope. Kentucky, or who was after Auburn?
I think it was Kentucky.
Kentucky. This is the clearly the second most talented team. This is a team that can now push to be the gold standard. They've got an offense, they got a defense, they're well coached. This is the one. Nope. Florida. Well, these guys match up with Georgia. This is going to be the most interesting game. It's a rivalry game. Anything can happen. Nope.
Nobody's put 14 points on us yet. Those 4 teams you just named managed a total of 4 touchdowns.
53 points at this point in the season.
Yeah. And this is an era where offenses are, you know, you were just mentioning, you know, you got to go back to when they didn't even have face masks on their helmets, you know, to talk about these great defenses, you know, and it's like, this is apples and oranges, man. You know, we're playing defense in an era where no one's playing defense. I mean, like you said, we went to the funeral. So, you know, Matt, you know, is it possible for Georgia to lose? Absolutely. But a game that Georgia loses is going to be somebody's going to have, like, it's like that last touchdown that Kentucky earned. You know, the one that they went on like an 11-minute drive. Dude, it's going to take a team doing that, going on an 11-minute drive, probably 3 times.
But how many times can you do that?
They're going to. I mean, that's what I'm saying. They're going to have to do it.
You realize You realize that we know now. Kirby allowed that to happen. He told Lanning, "Back off. They're burning the clock. Let's get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Back off. Let them run the clock out. I want to get out of here without injuries." That's not them. I mean, yeah, they earned it. Kentucky scored because we willed it. It don't matter what I said this weeks ago. It don't matter what nobody else does. It matters what we do. If Georgia lays an egg, that's the only way you beat us. You're not going to outman us. You're not going to outgas us. You're not going to outplay us. Now, you might outcoach us. That's Nick Saban. I mean, that's coming down the pipe. That might happen, but I don't see anybody having their way with this team.
You're asking a tall order to have them climb over that defense time and time and time again, and then you got to turn around and shut down that offense. That, you know, and the fact is, you might not have to shut down that offense. You might be getting an entirely different offense.
What's? I mean, I'm kind of out of the. Of course, I'm out of the loop with Georgia. What's up with JT?
So that's what we're about to talk about. We're about to talk about that right here.
Well, there we go.
So basically, you know, JT got that lat injury. He's here we are. We are in. We just finished up week 8 for us. It's actually technically week 9, but we had a bye, right? So we played 8 games. We're going to play our last 4 games now. All right. By the way, this is the point in the season last year where JT came in. All right. So he started the first 3 games. He started. He played the whole game against Clemson. Then he started against the UAB, and then they wound up, you know, letting him sit out for when the game got out of hand. Then he played one quarter against Vanderbilt, and that game got out of hand. So really, we've only seen JT for like 7 quarters this year or something like that. Robert, I agree with you, Robert. He says he thinks that Stetson will probably start this week, but I think we're going to see JT now. Kirby keeps saying this, and we're fools to not listen to him because he tells you what you need to hear, but he doesn't necessarily tell you what you want to hear. And Kirby says practice matters. What happens in practice matters, and so JT and Stetson have been going at each other now in practice, and it's pretty clear if JT were healthy and he was ready to play, he'd be playing. And we thought, okay, maybe we'll see two series with Stetson, 1 series with JT, and we'll let things work themselves out. No, JT played the whole game Stetson played the whole game against Florida, and then Kirby afterwards was asked, what the heck, Kirby? I thought we were going to see JT, and he said this made more sense in the continuity of things. That was the word that he used. It made more sense to go with the continuity. I don't necessarily buy that. I mean, maybe continuity is important to a certain extent, but I believe that if JT were 100% healthy, I think that's your guy. I mean, those guys would get paid way too much money not to start the best players. You know what I mean? And I do believe that JT Daniels is the best quarterback on our team when he is completely healthy. Stetson is not as bad a quarterback as Matt wants to believe he is, but he's not great. Okay, he is a walk-on quarterback. If you take the list of the composite rankings of all of our players, there's only 7 ranked players. There's 7 star-rated players who are lower rated than Stetson Bennett on our whole roster.
All right.
So what JT's like, he's a 5-star. So
here's what I think. I think JT has been cleared, but I think our medical staff has said, Kirby, listen, I'm gonna clear him. He can play, but if this thing this thing could flare up at any moment, and if it does, we have to start all over again. Mm-hmm. And a grade 1 lat sprain is 4 to 6 weeks minimum. Now this will be week 7 that he's been out, correct? Coming up. Florida was week 7.
Yeah.
So it's the minimum plus a week. Dak Prescott, an NFL freak athlete, recovered from the exact same injury in 5 weeks. JT is not that. He's a good athlete. He's not that. So that's what I think has happened. I think he could play. I think he could have played if we hit disaster level performance from Stetson. But I think the doctors have said, Kirby, he's cleared. Just know this. He's at the cusp, and if it flares up again, you're going to lose him. You're going to lose him again for another 4 to 6 weeks.
So
I have a hard time wrapping my head around a meeting that might have sounded like this between Kirby and his staff, Monken and the rest of them. Guys, I think we're going to chill. We'll feed the media what they want. We don't need JT to beat Florida.
Well, I think that particularly
happened, I can't wrap my head around that one.
I think particularly after that 21 point flurry right there at the end of the second quarter, I think at that point they were like, okay, there's really no reason to stick him out there anymore. Florida's not going to come back from this. I almost messaged in the group chat after Georgia scored that first touchdown. I said, finally an insurmountable lead when the score was 10-0. I almost joked that was an insurmountable lead, and then Georgia went bam, bam, and scored 2 more times. I thought, wow, now that really is actually an insurmountable lead, because Florida wasn't coming back from that. Robert says we've been very conservative with returning from injuries. Don Blaylock, almost 2 years. Yeah, you're right about that. I'm beginning to wonder about Don Blaylock. Has anybody seen that man?
Yes, I read something that was posted 2 hours ago that the brace is off. He's in a red jersey. Kirby feels better about Kirby's, and then there was an interview with Kirby. Kirby said, I feel good about that. You will see Don Blaylock before we get to Atlanta. Yeah. Pickens, but Blaylock, it was the brace that was there for the ACL injury that was aggravating that hamstring.
Interesting.
And it was just making it worse. The brace is off. He feels good. He's been taking reps. He's not there yet. But I think if I had to guess, I'd say you see Blaylock probably Charleston Southern.
Maybe. Maybe before that. We'll see. I don't know. I think that anybody who can will probably get to play this weekend against Missouri. Missouri, they don't pose a threat. So back to your saying, let's just keep everybody healthy. But also, there's a secondary task at hand, and that task is make sure all of our pieces work. Who is this that keeps? This is the freaking group chat going off, guys. Shut up. Trying to do a show here. So if you want to talk, come on the screen and put your face up here. Let's talk about it. Anyhow, what else do we need to say about Georgia's performance against Florida?
I said we don't need to kick a dead lizard too long. They stink if you let them sit there. They were thoroughly beaten. I mean, they were crushed. Florida's in a bad way. They are in a spiral, and it's good to see some of the Florida fans not being ignorant asses and acknowledging this. However, that means me and you and Tennessee fans, we need to be hoping Dan Mullen stays there for the rest of his natural-born life. So
I wouldn't be sad.
I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, I would love for him to retire there.
We'll see how that pans out, but stay tuned, boys. I think that this one's going to get interesting. Maybe before the end of this year.
I got nothing else on Georgia either because there ain't much to talk about with Missouri.
Yeah, we've got 4 weeks here. 4 weeks before the end of the season. Let's just get through it. Try to keep everybody healthy. Keep the boat between the lines and all that. Here we go. Playoff rankings. Everybody happy with the top four?
No.
For those of you who don't know, Georgia was 1, Alabama was 2, Michigan State was 3, and Oregon was 4.
What are you unhappy with, Dren?
Alabama.
I can see that. They're not going to get punished for laying eggs like the rest of us mortals do. If Georgia had lost, to unranked Florida in Jacksonville, we'd have tumbled 8 spots. I guarantee it. Yeah. They lose to unranked Texas A&M, and they fall like 3.
Mm-hmm.
Where would you have Alabama?
I would probably have them where Oklahoma is.
Damn.
8. Okay. Yeah. And when
Damn.
they went out and play in the SEC championship game, and let's just say they win the SEC championship game, where would you have them then?
I would probably put them at 3 or 4.
The SEC champ would be 3 or 4 in your.
Well, 1 loss SEC champ, yeah.
Where would Georgia go?
Sugar Bowl.
I can't. No, I gotta dunk that one in the toilet. Georgia would have to be about 4. You can't. If Georgia loses 1 game and it's the SEC title game, they're still going to the playoffs. That's a lot. You can put that one in your pipe and smoke it.
I got no problem with having Alabama at 2. I got no problem with having Alabama at 6, 7, or 8 either. I don't have a problem with that. I got no problem with them being at 2 because I do believe they are the second best team in football right now. I do believe that they're going to have an opportunity to play that into truth. You know what I'm saying? They're going to, but they also have an opportunity to lose and to tumble. So I think that if Alabama goes to the SEC championship and loses, they're done. I think that if Alabama loses the Iron Bowl, they're done. And let me tell you something else, man. I'm glad I get to talk about this. Anybody see Orgeron's comments?
I breezed over them. Something to the effect they're just not ready to play.
Yeah. He said, somebody asked him, Coach, what do you think about the team? And he said, they look good at all positions and all that kind of. He goes, no, I was talking about your team. And he goes, oh, our team. Okay. So and then he launches in on LSU, and he says, we're too predictable. Oh my God, man, he turned it. The comments were either the saddest thing I've ever seen, or the most diabolical genius thing I've ever seen. All right, because he made it sound like, we've been missing practice.
Could it be just doing the Lou Holtz thing, poor mouth and everything?
If it was the granddaddy of all poor mouthing. I'm telling you, if you go back and watch it, you'll see what I'm talking about. Because LSU had to cancel practice because they didn't have enough guys who could practice. Believe that if you want to. I don't know. I feel like Orgeron might have just decided to take a trip down to the beach or something. But here he is. He's this lame duck, and he just kind of doesn't have any,
What did I say when the news broke after they mutually decided to put. What did I say? I went on a tirade. If your children were awake, I'm sorry, because there was a lot of profanity involved. If you remember this tirade, he is coming at the world from a position of, what did I say?
Yeah, I remember there was a lot of F-bombs involved.
Fuck you. And I don't want to. I have no. You're not going to convince me that LSU is going to win that game, but
championship innings, gentlemen, 6-0.
But I don't want to be on the other side of an LSU team that's coming from a place of fuck you. I don't want to. I don't care that they're torn up with injuries. I don't care that they're in a miasma and a fog. I don't. When they like thought they had a chance and they're playing like a normal football team, that affects them. Now that they're just kind of like let the good times roll, I don't want to be across.
They were just satisfied with starting the Florida death spiral.
Yeah, if they upset Alabama, like, then what do you say?
I might become obnoxious.
I don't want that to happen though. I want Bama in Atlanta. That's another part of our story. We have to slay that dragon. If Alabama stumbles and doesn't make it, and we beat Auburn or we beat some other team, I'm not going to be satisfied. We've got to be.
It's a contract, man. They got to uphold their end of the contract.
Well, I think they will, and we're
going to be at Mercedes-Benz.
I already got the day off. I got that Saturday off. You are going to bring your ass to the Lehigh Valley.
I am. And yes, Robert, you are right. There is a monster lurking this week on the schedule. That TAMU Auburn game.
Oh yeah,
super huge. Auburn controls their own destiny right now, but I believe TAMU is favored, if I'm not mistaken. I have to look at that again, but I think they were favored. That's going to be a heck of a game. Question real quick before we do picks. Y'all ready to do these picks?
Yeah, let's go.
Question real quick. What do we think about Brian Harsin as it pertains to coaching?
I think he's doing a good job. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when he finally gets the recruiting classes in. I mean, Paul Feinbaum has said he's his coach of the year.
That's what I read today. They're talking about him being coach of the year.
Yep. Which is,
I didn't expect much at Auburn. I mean, if you go back and look at our preseason, little preview videos that we did, I think Matt, if I don't, gosh,
but here's the thing.
You used the T word is what you did.
Let's say we go. My guys go on the Lexington and handle our business, and we put up a decent fight against you guys, and then we do what we're supposed to do against the Jaguars of South Alabama and the Doors. I mean, why
7-5?
Why not Heupel for Coach of the Year?
I think that anything better
considering where they are now.
Listen,
I think he should, I don't know if he is, but I think he should at least be part of the conversation.
I think I will grant ye that you guys are ahead of schedule.
I said in the preseason for Tennessee, my prediction, my outlook on the season was 5-7, and you guys are staring at a solid 6-6 and a possible 7-5, and so either way. Whatever happens in Lexington, either way, you guys are ahead of schedule in my book. And I've said that this is the third week in a row I've said that about Tennessee. I like what I see, and now it's just time for Tennessee to start building depth. And if they continue to do what they're doing and
slow down. Let's not have that happen. I'm good if they don't.
I'm not saying that they will be able to do that. But
who's favorite?
Who's favorite? Sharpens iron, fellas.
Well, we'll get to that in the picks. But iron also can. You've watched Conan the Barbarian. Swords break on each other. I like to coast.
The riddle of steel, Dren, is that steel is not strong. Flesh is stronger.
What is the sword without the hand that wields it?
Contemplate this upon the tree.
God, I want to ask you so bad what you think a good fight against us is going to look like, but we're going to save that for the next week.
I think we'll hang 20.
What?
It's a home game. I say we'll hang 20.
So you're going to be so Tennessee is going to be the first team.
Yeah.
To almost double.
No, even after all these ranked teams.
Yep.
Okay.
I think we'll hang 20. I said we'd hang 20 against Matt, but we did it. We managed it.
Bama's not Georgia.
I know. But it's damn
All
good
right.
practice.
Okay, he says. All right, we'll revisit that next week because we'll get to the picks. I'm going to see who's favored in Lexington.
Jesus, I don't know. I'm a little bit flustered by all that.
The last line I saw, the ESPN had a 1.1 had Kentucky -1.
Here we go.
Missouri in Athens. Dogs favored by 37.5. I will take the dogs, and I'll give you more points if I could, but I'll stay with that.
Let's let me say this out loud before I start writing all these down. Last week, I took UGA and Sparty, and those are my only 2 wins last week. Matt took UGA and Auburn, and those were his only 2 wins. Dren took UGA and Sparty. Smart man. Young Brandon was the winner last week. He took UGA, Sparty, and Auburn. Everybody missed Mizzou. They did not cover against Vandy. Let me say that again out loud for the people in the back. Mizzou did not cover 16 points against Vandy. Tune in later for a 5-minute video of me just saying that over and over. Mizzou did not cover against Vandy.
Well, I remember saying last week when we were talking about Missouri and Vandy that I said that there may not be 16 points scored in the entire fucking game.
He did say that.
Follow point. They went in the 60s. They got up in the 60s, maybe even like the 70s.
He did say it. He did say it.
What?
Who you taking?
What is this? Hold on a second.
I'm taking Georgia.
Does Robert Reynolds know my background?
He does not, I don't think.
Okay, I'll have to share that with him. Robert, that'll be a discussion for another time. You're on to something. That's the hint.
You're on to something. So let's put down Mitch, Matt, and Dren here.
You can mark me down for them dogs.
I got you already. Taking UGA -37.5, and actually we just looked at this spread before it's actually gone. It went from 39 to 37.5 back up to 38. So I'm taking UGA as well. Robert says it looks like we will probably cover that in the first half. What is a score? What is a score? 49-10. Is that a score?
You giving them?
I think that's probably reasonable.
I mean, I'm saying that if you saw 49-10, you'd say, okay, but that covers. Is it possible for Georgia to get in the 40s? Absolutely.
Can they shut Missouri out?
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. That's what I want.
Connor Bazelak is not playing. Their quarterback.
Bazelak's not playing.
He's not playing.
Okay, give me them dogs.
Yeah, so we're going. I'm taking dogs. How about it, Dren?
Dren.
I said dogs.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
I thought you fell asleep.
Sorry.
Man, is Atlanta beating them that bad?
6-0.
Beating them to sleep,
dude. If they win, that means they win.
That's it. They're up 3-2.
Yeah. All right. So
they beat the Indians in 6 and 95.
Here's Auburn versus TAMU. Now, at time of posting, TAMU was favored by 4.5. I think that's probably still pretty close to what it is. This is an enormous game. This game is super huge.
Yeah.
I mean, because here's the crazy part about it is that Auburn could lose this game, which would cost them a spot in the SEC championship, and still beat Bama. They could do that.
Yeah, it's possible.
It's possible. What would happen then is that Bama would get catapulted into the SEC championship with 2 losses. What if they beat Georgia with 2 losses? Did they go to the playoffs then?
No. You're going to put a 2-loss? Oh, yes, they will. And I hate it. It hurts my heart, but you know good and damn well. If you're going to drop Georgia out of the playoffs, if you're going to drop Georgia out of the playoffs, if they only lose 1 game to Bama at the end of the season, you're putting a 2-loss Alabama team into the playoffs.
Bill, Matt, and I are currently tied with 20 wins. 20 wins right now.
See, I keep trying to tell him he gamble. I don't gamble, but follow what I say because I go with my heart.
I'm going to go with my heart on this one, you guys. I'm going to take Auburn because I want Auburn to win.
I think it's a good. I think it's a good pick. I think you're riding the hot hand, so then I agree with you. I'm gonna take.
How hot is Auburn right now, though? How hot?
Very.
They're probably as hot as you can be. I mean, that game against Ole Miss last week. Ole Miss was the only loss they had was to Bama. Ole Miss was looking like the Kentucky of the West, and then Kentucky and Ole Miss did exactly the same thing in exactly the same way. They cracked under the pressure, and Auburn was just there. They were solid. They've been pretty solid. So, what about you, man? What do you like? TAMU, Auburn. You want Jimbo or Harper?
This one's got me nervous and flustered. Damn.
How hot are they?
They're like Appalachian State, man.
I kind of
hot.
I kind of need Auburn to win this game because I have a plan, and I think you know what it is. But okay. I know. I think I'm gonna take the Aggies on this one.
Wow.
Take the Aggies at home. The 12th man shows up. Aggies.
Yeah. It's at It's
yes,
it's
sir.
Go ahead and replace his picture and his screen with a waffle there. Little Doonesbury action.
Well, who did Dren pick for that one? Auburn? You took
Auburn.
Okay. All right. I'll take the Aggie. I think the Aggies have got something for them.
All right, two teams that are both 5-3, Mississippi State and Arkansas, both 5-3. Looking to get bowl eligible this week. Arkansas is favored by 5. They had a bye week last week, didn't they? They just came off a win against Pine Bluff, and then they had the bye.
I'm not going to give up on Bacon Bits. I'm going to take Bacon Bits on this one.
You're going to just go ahead and take
we said way back, like, man, I hope they do well after Georgia, and they didn't, and now I'm going to revisit that.
Dude, Mississippi State dismantled Kentucky with help.
Are they good or are they not good? Do we know? Like
they're the most schizo team in the conference. What they are.
That's what I'm getting to. Mississippi State dismantled Kentucky with help from Kentucky. Go back and you look at your box score there. Kentucky turned the ball over a bunch. Now Kentucky's done that this year. They've turned the ball over. That's been their
problem this year.
That's been their big problem, and they just happened to turn it over 4 times against them. Now, if you remember last year, Mississippi State turned it over 6 times to Kentucky. You remember that? And Kentucky beat them 24-2. Turnabout's fair play. Mississippi State is not better than a perfect Kentucky, but Kentucky was far from perfect, so don't get it twisted. Mississippi State is not better than Arkansas, but is Arkansas 5 points better than them? I think the answer is yes. I like Arkansas there. Arkansas is just they'll mash you. They're ready to mash somebody. What you got on that one, Dren?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Hogs.
Okay.
It's time, right?
I don't have any faith in Mike Leach to be consistent. Not with this team, not this season.
I do think they will get bowl eligible.
I think they will. Yeah, I think they'll go to the Belt Bowl or something like that.
I think they'll get bowl eligible, but not this week.
They look solid against like NC State. They're still NC State only loss.
Right.
And I don't. It's just they're too inconsistent. I can't pick them.
Okay, fair enough.
Here, it only gets better from here, boys. LSU goes to Tuscaloosa, where they are a 28.5-point dog.
Ooh. Okay. Who wants this one first?
Dren wants this one first because I got things I got to say. What do you think?
I think Bama wins this. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. Okay, you're going to take all those 28.5 points.
Yeah, I got a feeling that Alabama's just they're not the coaching. The players are just they're like, yeah, we got this. Well, you're gonna find out whether you do or not.
Urban Meyer said it on national television when they asked him, "Who's the scariest team in the SEC?" Quick fire, LSU. He's like, they got off the bus and we're looking around at each of the coaches like, how the hell are we gonna block that guy?
Let me put
We
this
got
comment here.
big dudes. That guy looks like a monster.
Bama covers if the game is even played.
If the game is even played.
I got a feeling that game is going to be played. I don't have Bama covering it. I think that I want to think that Coach O is being a little wily with his comments and we don't even know how to put on our jock straps properly. All that nonsense, dude. Listen. Florida gave Bama all they wanted. But LSU got into a track meet with Florida. Tennessee gave Bama all they wanted, and I don't think there's a lot of people who was real high on Tennessee being able to do that. I just don't think that Alabama is. I mean, I think they're good. Don't get me wrong, and I think they will win this ball game. But if you're giving me 28.5 and I get to take LSU, shoot, man, I got to take them Tigers too.
In Tuscaloosa, Roll Tide.
Roll. I love it. I love it.
I hate that
love it. All right, put that man down for some Bama. Okay.
Oh boy, here we go. Kentucky's favored by a toss of a coin.
ESPN had it at 1 point this afternoon. One friggin' point.
Bet now had it at 1.5 points, and I'm going to refresh it at this very moment. ESPN has it at 1. So, yeah.
Now I checked it about like 2:00 this afternoon. Sometime that.
But
I'm going first.
Yeah, go for it.
We gonna whoop that ass.
Yeah, on our pick show, you get 2.5 points to play with.
He ain't.
I ain't stuttering. I ain't hesitating. Vegas has no faith in Kentucky, and I got all the faith in the world in my boys. We have not forgotten what it's just like. What Mississippi State? Mississippi State had 6 turnovers, and they killed us. We had Jarrett Garantano threw 3 picks, 2 of which were returned for touchdowns last year, and they beat our ass 41-14. That ain't happening this year.
Okay. That's what he said. You heard him. That's what he said. Mitch.
I have bled blue all season long.
Yes, you have.
And last week when I saw Kentucky play like they played, I thought, man, it's way too late in the season to be playing this poorly. Should I take off this blue jersey and lay it down? And I, you know what? They did play bad, but they won't do it 2 weeks in a row. So I'm going to take them Wildcats.
Lord have mercy.
It's at Kroger Field.
Lord have mercy, baby. Damn, they did look bad though.
They look really, really awful.
They've only beaten us twice in 37 years.
They've only beaten Florida twice.
That's a useless
years.
stat right now, man. Stoops has got them guys doing the unthinkable. At Kentucky, 2.5 points. See, if y'all beat Kentucky, that means y'all are all now fighting for bronze honors because there will be no silver medal handed out. Because you guys are tied with Florida now.
You know what you want, Matt. You know what you want.
You're both 4-4.
Tennessee to win. Yeah.
You telling me what I want?
I'm telling you what you want.
Go ahead.
Tennessee. You want Tennessee to win this game so they can beat that big orange chest coming in the next week.
I think we already heard some of that with him saying they're going to hang 20 on Georgia.
There needs to be a fairy tale.
Dren, what are you drinking right now? Can I have some? I can have some.
That fire water.
That fire whiskey. No, we're going to give that to the Florida Floridians we just colonized.
That fine barrel-aged old number 7 sour mash, boys.
Let me get that, baby. You're going to need some come next week. But this week, I think you might be all right. I think Dren might be okay.
Should I put down them Volunteers?
He wants us to win, so we'll be on a high going into Georgia.
Listen, stop trying to figure me out.
I don't
know what goes on in here.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him. If I was in his position, I'd want the same thing.
It don't matter at this point.
Have you said it? You haven't said a pick yet.
No, I'm thinking about it.
All right.
Oh God,
my heart is cleft in twain.
I wish I was on good.
Hurry up for your gear seize up there, Chief.
Shut up. What's the score on the Braves game?
6-0. Bottom of the 6th, Max Fried still up. He's got a 1-2 count, 1 out, 1-2, 1 and 2. I don't know.
Braves are going to win the World Series tonight, and Kentucky's going to win the silver medal in the SEC East. I'm taking the Cats.
Wow. I can't even. My pen won't even write no more. You got so much drama in it. Wow. Okay. That's a good spread. Boy.
You know what? Just because you uttered the words 20 points against Georgia in the same breath, I had to do that to you. I don't even know what that is. We'll revisit that next week.
Trent's gonna be so mad. He gonna be so mad.
You're funny.
You're good. You're
good.
Hey boys, listen.
Funny like a clown.
Share this video. Why don't you go get your shine box? Share this video with your friends. All right.
Are we done? Are we gonna make it out in under an hour?
Mitch, hit the thing, dude.
I'm gonna hit the thing. Share this video with your friends. Bring a friend next time. But watch this first. That's it, boys.
Before we go, somebody please again contact Interpol, CIA, FBI. We got to find our missing Florida friends. We ain't seen them in a month. So I'm not going to be able to take seriously anybody getting on me and Mitch for dipping out of a chat last year. When these some of my bitches have dipped out of life.
Well, I've already started working on the milk cartons. So
yeah, good. Make sure you get that picture on there. And shit, man, I got belts, wallets, shoes. I got this shit good, baby. It's all I can't. I'm having a hard time keeping these alligators down.
Beautiful. All right, boys. We'll do it again next week. Peace out. Go Dogs.